Hello, Coach JPMD here. So, we're back. We're back to releasing episodes every Monday. So, expect to see an episode drop in your podcast app every Monday and hopefully every Thursday coming soon. Took a little break over the past couple of months. And we also rebranded our podcast last year to the Independent Physician's Blueprint. So, stay tuned for new episodes releasing every Monday morning. So, by the end of this episode, you will know the top 5 careers that can brag about being the most common millionaires. Welcome to the Independent Physician's Blueprint with your host, Coach JPMD, that's me, where we help younger physicians decrease stress and increase income by transitioning from corporate to independent practices, even without any business experience. In this episode, you'll discover that doctors are not among the top 5 professionals who accumulate $1 million of net worth, why surrounding yourself with successful people influences your financial habits, and how curiosity and openness to advice can lead to better financial decisions. So why are doctors not rich? Have you ever wondered that? Or maybe you're not even aware that doctors are not rich. Well, according to a study done, I believe it was in 2018, I have to look back at the date here, November 17th, to January 31st, 2018, and they used a third-party research group. This was through the Ramsey Solution Group that studied over 10,000 U.S. millionaires. So people who in the U.S. made or had a net worth of over $1 million. And interestingly enough, physicians were not part of that top 5 professions that were found to have a net worth of $1 million. The 5 professions were engineers, accountants or CPAs, teachers, people in the management, and attorneys. So that was very interesting to me because you would think that physicians are high earners and they well respected in the community. They drive nice cars. They may even have nice houses, but they are not amongst the top 5 everyday millionaires. On average, 31% of those on that top 5 list made $100,000 a year. It's only 31%. 33% of those on that list did not ever make over $100,000. So I found that fascinating also because I actually just spoke to a recruiter, a local recruiter that is helping us find physicians in the area. And she told me that the average salary for new residents or physicians coming out is $250,000. 8 out of 10 of those everyday millionaires invested in a 401k. So it made me think, it's either physicians are in groups and they're not contributing to 401ks, or they're still in solo practices and they don't have a 401k to invest in and have not set it up in their practice. So that is very interesting because I think that is a big driver for those that are in this group with a network of over $1 million. Another thing I found was that they have grocery lists. I find that interesting because I used to not have lists when I go to the grocery store, but my memory is failing me sometimes. So I have to actually have a list, and I like written lists. And that's something that they found that people did. Everyday millionaires actually wrote grocery lists. 94% lived on less than what they made. And 94% of them said that hard work and not a salary or a high salary contributed to their high net worth. So why does that matter to you as a physician? So if you want to be successful, you hang out with successful people. You learn from successful people. I've mentioned this on the podcast before, and I tell my kids this all the time, that you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you hang out with 5 people that are not saving, not writing grocery lists, not investing in 401k plans, and living beyond their means, buying expensive cars, living in expensive houses that they can't afford, then you're going to be the average of that person. But if you're hanging out with people who are top performers, who have businesses or contributing to their 401k, that maybe you're hanging out with engineers and accountants and teachers, then you're likely to be the average of that person. And, that's not a bad average to be with. So you should do what successful people do. Another thing I tell my kids is that you shouldn't hang out with duds. If you're a dud, you'll be an average dud, and you don't want to be an average dud. Be curious. Be open-minded to different things. I wasn't aware of this study a couple of years ago, and it was eye-opening. A little frustrating because I wish I knew this stuff a long time ago. So new grads and new residents coming out, take the advice, be curious, be open to suggestions. And if you do take that median salary job when you graduate residency, live like you're a resident for the first 3 years and pay off your student loans. And that's what's going to help drive your success and your independence so that you're not having to be tied down in a job that you may not like or a city that you may not like because you're having to take a high salary because you're not living below your means. So I'm going to share this study with you in the show notes and take a look at it. It's not too long. It's about 9 pages. And if you have any questions or if you want to shoot me some feedback from this episode, I'd love to hear what you think and why you think that physicians did not make that top 5 list. So what you learned today was that the top 5 everyday millionaires, as per Ramsey Solutions research, is not what most might expect. At least it wasn't what I expected. You can take a look at the show notes and you'll see the exact research that was done in 2018, and it was pretty intriguing. You also learned the things that you can do to generate wealth despite trends. And the other thing you might have learned is that we should not be hanging out with duds. You should surround yourself with high-power, encouraging, successful, and generous people to thrive in your medical career. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you'd like to hear more, subscribe, follow on your favorite podcast app so you'll never miss an episode.